Hello, everyone. Um, Thank you. I did not think that the last video of this series was going to do so well, or that people would watch it, or like it, or anything. Um, that video was posted on Sunday. I'm doing this recording on Wednesday, and it has over 2K views? 2.5? I have no idea where you all came from. Thank you so much. I seriously cannot thank you enough for all of the love and support. I know that you all are here for cats. I mostly do original character content, specifically D&D, fantasy, all that fun stuff. I have played ahead in this clan, so there is more content coming. I just don't know when it will be, because I am a very busy person. I'm a full-time student. I have so much other work that I need to be doing, that I can't draw cats all day, even if that would be really fun. I have other priorities. So, there will be more Rainclan coming after this. I just don't know when that will be. But if you like me and you like my content, I do make other stuff. I'm mostly active over on my Instagram at Krova, where you can see I do more regular posts. Actually, I'm almost at 5K followers over there. And when we hit that, I'm gonna do a Draw This in Your Style challenge, where you guys can take one of my characters, draw them in your style, and if you're following me and you tag me in that post, then you'll be entered into a raffle, and I'll draw something for you if you win. It'll be a random raffle, so no skill level required for that. That challenge will be open through the end of June, so there's still some time, depending on when you're watching this, in order to enter that. Whenever it's open. It's not open yet. It'll open when we reach 5K. But that'll hopefully be soon. Let's get into the cats. We've unfortunately had some deaths this year, so that means we are starting with all of the ghosts in StarClan. First up in StarClan is Lotus Skitter, our StarClan guide. For a little bit of lore, it's because of him that the clan's burial grounds are on the outskirts of a small pond full of lily pads. They say that when the flowers bloom on the water, it's the spirits of dead cats sending a message to the living. Next up is Hollowleaf, a new cat who unfortunately did not have a lot of time to spend with us. He was an injured loner with a broken leg who died 2 months after joining. I feel bad. He wasn't the first cat to die this month, but since all three of the next deaths were connected, in the sense that they were all killed by the same person, figured it was only right to talk about them at the same time. First of the murder victims this year was actually Stormstar, who was pushed into a river and swept downstream, losing all of his lives. He was out on patrol with his apprentice the moon prior, and both of them were feeling senses of dread. The cat who pushed him was having some not so great feelings about Cloudy Paw, and because of that, Cloudy Paw definitely knows that Howlmask actually was the one who pushed his mentor into the river as a pawn in a coup, which we will get more into later, but yeah, Stormstar is dead. Next death is Cinderstreak, who died at 39 moons. He was murdered by dogs while on patrol with Howlmask, who had been acting suspicious that moon. Yeah, Howlmask totally led him into that dog patrol. In StarClan, Cinderstreak has been trying to reach out to someone, so I feel that he's a very unhappy spirit who's trying to tell the living members of the clan about what Howlmask is up to. And yeah, that's Cinderstreak. And the final cat who died was actually Flamepaw, who was thinking about making an unsavory deal with a loner, while in the exact same month, Howlmask was seen talking to a kitty pet. So yeah, he totally killed him. I have no idea why Howlmask or Cinderstreak were a part of Howlmask's plan. They weren't a part of the coup plan, but clearly Howlmask has some sort of weird, sinister plot of his own that involves these random deaths, and I am afraid for the future of this clan and whatever he's going to do next. But yeah, that's all of the StarClan cats this year. Let's get into the living members of Rainclan. First up is Puddle Days, now Puddle Star. At the very beginning of the month before Stormstar's death, he wanted to speak to Green Freckle and thought that he's been going crazy. Because of Stormstar's death, I took this to mean that the two of them were making a coup in order to gain power. Since gaining this power, however, Puddlestar's been surprisingly chill. He seems to just enjoy this position. He hasn't done anything like weird or sinister or like taking advantage of that. I think he just didn't want to retire, and so he wanted to, keep being in power. I don't think he knows about the other two deaths and just sort of brought on Howlmask as a one-time mercenary and doesn't really know that he's doing all these extra murders. I don't know, we'll see. He's been very chill about all of the murder. Luckily enough, the power does not seem to have gone to his head yet, so that's a plus. Next is Green Freckle. They've taken to the life of Deputy very, very well. They've been organizing patrols and hoping that they're doing a good job serving their clan. I don't think they're too involved in the murder plots going on. I think they just met with Puddle Days and wanted to be deputy, but they don't seem to have any sinister intentions. They've been surprisingly chill and honestly haven't done too much of note besides just, wanting to do a good job filling their new role. So, yeah, that's Green Freckle. Next is Hawthorn Dusk. Hawthorn Dusk is doing his best. His relationship with Puddlestar is mending now, so that's a little bit interesting that their feud seems to have more to do with Stormstar than with each other. But Stormstar is gone now, so we don't need to worry about that. He's also formed a mutual crush with Billowbee, who has spent so much time in the medicine den that they've gotten a whole lot closer. There haven't been a ton of big medical scares this year, but in the middle of winter he caught yellow cough and is grumpy about it. He's mostly keeping to himself to stop it from spreading any further. But yeah, that's Hawthorn Dusk. He's mostly chilling out. Billowbee, we talked about her a little bit. She's been, once again, in and out of the medical den all year. At this point, I think she is purposefully trying to get minor injuries in order to have an excuse to hang out with Hawthorn Dusk. Other than that, she hasn't done all too much. She doesn't seem to get along with Green Freckle that well, but she gets along with everyone else. She's definitely settled her way into Rainclan and has become a very fine warrior. Next, we have a new cat, Daisy J, who is wise and a fantastic hunter. She was found as a refugee from Slate Clan, whose leader was taking away kittens and just being a really tyrannical, awful person. Daisy J had had multiple of her litters taken away in the past, and in order to have a better life for her future children, she ran away and decided to find a new home. She's not pregnant at the moment, but she has thought about kids multiple times, so I think it's on her mind, even if she doesn't currently like anyone in the clan. I think she's just ready to start a new life. And Howlmask. We already talked about him and what he has been up to. He was working with Puddle Days and killed Stormstar in order to help Puddle Days gain a higher status in the clan. But apparently Howlmask took that to mean that murder was totally fine and okay, and has gone and done stuff on his own. I have no idea what his plan is, or what he's trying to gain with all of these murders. I have nothing, but I'm very scared for the rest of the clan, and he doesn't seem to have any intentions of stopping, so we sure will find out what he's up to. Oak Speckle, once again, she isn't doing a whole lot this year. She was very sad about both Stormstar and Cinderstreak's death, but she seems to be the type to bounce back quickly. She was also bitten by a snake at one point. She's better now, it's fine. The interesting thing, though, is that someone is forming a crush on her, who we will get to in a moment. She does not reciprocate the crush, but that will be interesting. Osprey Shimmer has definitely matured this year. Not a ton has happened with him, but he has done a really good job taking care of the clan and honestly really proving himself. He was on the patrol that found Daisy J. He's still very cocky and thought a couple times about being deputy, but I think that's more of him wanting to be a great warrior and serve his clan well than anything to do with the coup. He's just a little himbo. He's too stupid to do anything evil. Next is Darkleaf. Again, not a ton has happened in this clan besides all of the murders, but he is spending a good amount of time with Oakspeckle, and the two of them are starting to view each other as a little bit more than friends. He was very, very sad after the death of his former mentor Cinderstreak, and he took shelter with Hawthorn Dusk in order to feel better about it, and the two of them have gotten to become better friends, which I think is really nice. He's just trying to work through the grief that he has and is looking forward to a brighter future for the clan. Next is Robin Stripe. Robin Stripe had a few interesting things happen this year. First of all, she's trans, love that for her. Secondly, she graduated to a warrior and was given the name Robin Stripe. As she's gotten older, she seems to have mellowed out a little bit. She's still pretty prickly and standoffish to others, very cold. Speaking of cold, she wandered off into the snow and came back with frostbite. It took bits off of both her ears and made her completely deaf in her right ear, so that probably does not help with her poor communication skills in general, but she's doing her best. She's trying. And finally, we have Cloudy Feather. When Cloudy Feather was an apprentice, they were on a patrol with Stormstar and witnessed Howlmask push him into the river. Cloudy Paw tried to run away, but Howlmask caught up to them and threatened them to be quiet. Cloudy Feather is the only person in the clan who knows that Howlmask is responsible for Stormstar's death. Since then, Cloudy Feather has been terrified of Howlmask and has been too nervous to say anything and risk their own hide. They're trying to play it cool and pretend that everything is fine. They're also non-binary, and they came out in the last moon of the year, so I think it's a little safe to say that Cloudy Feather has been having some internal struggles lately, given everything going on. Which is very fair. You witnessed a murder, my guy. You'll be okay, but you deserve the right to be just a little bit on edge right now. And that's it for year 2 of Rainclan. Thank you guys so much for the support on the last video and the series in general. I really can't thank you enough. I really hope that you guys are enjoying the story that's developing. It's entirely random. I change a couple things like cat names, but for the most part this is all RNG and I have no idea what's gonna happen next, so if you enjoy this and this sort of content, then please feel free to subscribe and be sure to follow me on Instagram to get in on that draw this in your style while you still can. But yeah, thank you so much. See you next time.